Today I'm going to show you how I created this soft glam look using all Youngblood Mineral Cosmetics products. But I am also going to share with you 10 of my pro makeup tips to achieve a really flawless soft glam look for this holiday season. Let's go. Tip number 1 in this video is to prepare your skin. So important to moisturize your skin and prepare the base to ensure a really long-lasting makeup application. So this is the Hydra-Luxe Water Cream by Youngblood. Just massaging that in. Then I'm going to go in with the eye cream. This is the Youngblood Eye Cream and Eye Impact. Now all the products I'm using today are Youngblood. I thought I would stick with the same brand. And I love this, genuinely love this product. This is the mineral primer, so I'm just pressing this into my skin. In between these layers, really let each of them settle in, so it gives a chance for the product to do what it's meant to do. This primer is beautiful, it's really soothing, it smooths out the fine lines and wrinkles and sort of blurs any larger pores that you may have. I'm going to use 2 different shades of foundation today. The first shade is the Golden Tan. This is a lighter shade, so this would be pro tip number 2. So you don't have to just use the one shade on your face, you can use more than one. So I'm using the lighter shade more in the middle section of my face. I have actually put possibly a little bit too much on, so bear with me as I buff this in. I'm using a foundation brush to buff this in. Brushes are essential to buffing in your foundation and creating a really nice airbrush look. This is the BK Beauty brush. It's their foundation brush. I will find out what number it is for you. So, buffing that in. Now, what I'm going to do is go in with the darker shade. So hang on, before I do that, I will make sure I get my ears and down my neck. And I'm using the darker shade more like a contour, more of a face framer and to warm up the face than anything else. For us in the Southern Hemisphere, we're heading into a more warmer climate, our summer. So I do find as it does get warmer and I'm having a bit more of a tan or using spray tans, I like to warm up my skin. Now, on the top of the eyes, I'm just using a small amount of foundation and just pressing this all over the top just to ensure that they have a little bit of coverage. Now, always starting with all my creamy products. I love doing them first. This would be tip number 3. Place your fingers here so you can make sure that your blush is nice and high. This is the Vivid Luxe blush, and it's one of their cream blushes, and it's called Creme Brulee. Using the same foundation brush, I'm just sweeping that in. Going onto my brows before I start my eyes, really important, pro tip number 4 is to ensure that you comb your brows. If you do nothing else, make sure you comb your brows. I always ensure that I have the most color on the outer corner of my brows from the tail end and then sweep it through with the spoolie brush. Same on the other side. Always starting at the arch, making sure I have the outer tail, that's where I lose color, and then sweeping it through. So the hero product of this look will be the Weekender palette. The reason I love this is there's 9 eyeshadows on this side, and then you flip it over, and on the other side we have some cheek and highlight shades. So it is the perfect Weekender palette. Starting off with the lightest shade in this palette, this is called Getaway. Now it does have a slight shimmer to it, but not too much, but enough to give that inner corner a little bit of highlight and also up under the brow. As you can see, I'm pressing it in all over the eyelid. The next shade that I'm going in with is called Tan Lines. Now this one is a very medium shade, and I'm placing it with a fluffy brush right on the outer corner and up onto the brow bone. Mainly up on that brow bone to really help lift the eye. So just sweeping it through and just little windshield wiper movements all the way through and the residual towards the inner corner of the eye. Same on the other side, placing it in the outer corner and up into the bone and then sweeping the residual product up and out and really creating a nice frame for those eyes. Running a small amount of that same shade underneath the lash line, this really helps to make your eyes look that little bit bigger. Now going in with a darker shade, this is called Brunchin, and using a more detailed fluffy brush, I am just placing it in. Now tip number 5 is to use 2 brushes. So you'll notice I swapped brushes. I used a smaller detailed brush to place that color into the corner, and then I swapped brushes to a larger fluffy brush that is clean, that I can literally spread that color out without sort of making it all muddy, and it really keeps these colors looking clean. Now, I'm using my first shimmer color. This is called Alfresco, and a flat brush. And I'm placing this right on that outer corner, so the first sort of 3/4 of the eyeball there. Taking the lighter shimmer in Private Jet, and using the same flat brush but turned over, I'm placing it right into that inner corner to really help those eyes pop out and give a bit of highlight. This is called Espresso. It's one of the gel liners. It is gorgeous. I really like to rub this right close to the lash line, really, really close, and do a small baby wing and use my finger to just pull out the tip. Really emphasizing that there, and I will stick it right up underneath and into the tight line. So not as comfortable, but once you get used to it, it's a really nice way to add a little bit of weight to the top of the eyes without doing too thicker eye line. So same on this side, just using my finger to pull out that baby wing and then re-going over it with the liner again, up into the tight line and a small amount on that bottom lash line. Using the mineral mascara, I'm just using this to sweep through the lashes, and you'll see that I sort of shimmy down and blink onto the wand. I like the mineral mascara. It's easy to apply, stays on all day, but comes off easily when I need it to, which I find is really good. I hate having to rub my eyes too hard trying to get mascara off. Now this is pro tip number 6. Using a small amount of the eye cream we used in the beginning and a cotton tip, we're just going to clean up under the eye. This is just to make sure that you don't have any fallout underneath, and the good thing about this is it keeps the eye nice and hydrated and prepped, ready to go in with your concealer or foundation. Now for me, I'm just using foundation. I'm not using concealer, so pro tip number 7 would be use foundation or don't use concealer if you don't need to. More product just leads to more product sitting in fine lines and wrinkles. Now I'm using the Creme Brulee. This is the same blush that I used on my cheeks, and I'm just using my finger to place that on my lips. Pro tip number 8 is to take your contour shade or your powder and use a small detail brush and run that over your lips as a liner. So you don't have to use a liner if you don't want to. This is a really great way to make your lips look a little bit fuller. I'm just grabbing a little bit more of this product and running it through just to really deepen that color. And if you like, you can add a little bit of gloss to this as well. Using the same contour shade, this is called Soleil, and I'm placing this just around where we warmed up the face earlier, just to really help contour the face and chisel those cheekbones and give myself that nice sun-kissed glow. Going in with one of the blush shades, I'll find out what this one is called, just a simple brush. This is called Yacht Club, and I'm placing it just where we had that cream blush earlier on. Now, pro tip number 9. This is using a little bit of that blush, so that's the Yacht Club, on a small fluffy brush and placing it through the eye socket line. I love doing this. If you've seen my videos, I do this quite often. Pro tip number 10, last but not least, this is the translucent powder, and it's loose, and I'm using a little triangle powder, and as you can see, I'm just pressing it into the skin. Then I'm coming in with a large fluffy brush and I'm just buffing that in. And as you can see, not only does this set the makeup, it softens the makeup, but by doing it this way, you're also snatching in the face. I love this trick. Same on the other side, just pressing it in with a triangular puff. You can see where I've gone, and then really creating that extra lift. A nice large brush to make sure that you press that product in, but get off any excess powder because you don't want that sitting on your face, and just really sweep that through. Now I forgot the highlighter, so we're going to go in with the highlighter. This is called Bon Voyage, a smaller, more detailed brush, placing it across the high points of my face. I did place it under my brows. Be very careful doing this, especially with the shimmer. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd love to hear suggestions of what sort of makeup look you would like to see next. Thank you.